You can also listen to us on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/The Clock Cleaners.
Hello and welcome to the Clock Cleaners podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Keith.
And today we'll be recapping Raw from July 17th.
Yes. So an underwhelming show, maybe?
That wasn't bad.
No. Let me.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm listening.
I lost my train of thought. No.
Okay.
It's typical WWE where something gets hyped so much and you kind of get excited, and then when it happens, it's kind of like, oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because they were just hyping the episode a lot.
Yeah.
And
Well, there was two things that they made a big deal about.
the number one contender match?
Yeah, that and the Kurt Angle
which
announcement.
we called it last week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which was completely obvious, and it's fine.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So the real problem, is the fact that there's over a month until SummerSlam still.
Yeah.
Shall we
start us off?
Yeah. So the show opened with Dean Ambrose coming out with his friend Steely Dan, which is just the steel chair.
Well, it was the steel chair from last week, I'm guessing, because it was
It was dented.
Yeah.
So
it was pre-used.
Yes, it was pre-used. So he calls out the Miz to Raj because he wants some revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, Seth Rollins comes out. So when this happens, I'm like, are they going to start feuding? And the Miz kind of was like a transition between the two of them?
Not yet.
Well, eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be something.
This was a decent segment. It wasn't bad. But the only way this works is if they turn Dean heel.
I guess that would make more sense than turning Seth heel again.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it. I mean, they've kind of not said, but shown that Seth is basically the face of the company now.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he's doing a lot of their publicity things and the whole WWE 2K18.
Well, especially with Cena not being around as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, because a lot of it is Dean being skeptical of Seth. So you would think that, like, he's gonna not trust him and what. Well, obviously he doesn't trust him completely.
Well, yeah, that was kind of how this whole started. Was Seth had talked about that? He called him brother, right?
Yeah.
And then Dean was like, "Whoa! I used to know a guy that was my brother."
Yeah. Well, yeah. The whole thing went down during the segment,
right?
And but yeah, Dean said that he still feels betrayed by Seth from what happened. And so then Seth tries to get his trust back by offering to
let him hit him with a chair.
Yeah, so he stands there for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And then eventually Dean just throws the chair out of the ring, and that's when The Miz and Axel and
the gardener, Bo Dallas.
and Bo Dallas come out. And then they surround them, and then they beat them down with chairs and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
they took a licking.
So as they were coming down and they were surrounding the ring, there was chants going down. I'm almost I was gonna say I'm almost positive people are chanting for Roman to come down.
I mean, that's the only way you're going to get Roman to get the majority cheer.
Well, as if he's with those two.
Yes,
it's true. That would be.
Yes.
It would be cool. And let's say, for argument's sake, as we kind of alluded to, the main event was the number one contenders match. Let's say for argument's sake that didn't happen, and Roman just lost, and then they did something like that for SummerSlam. That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it would be. However,
it's not good for any of their careers.
Yeah, I mean, not to take anything away from the Miz, but being in a lower card feud like that would not be good for three of the top guys in the company.
Well, it's not the Miz. The Miz is not the problem. If the Miz had Big Cass, as you had suggested, and then Bray Wyatt, if it was the three of them,
it's a weird group.
Well, it is, but it's also a group of mid to upper card heels that you can justify putting up against those three.
Right. No, I completely understand.
So because Bray Wyatt was really just the only heel that wasn't doing anything that I could think of. See, that would be a justification for putting them back together. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, while they work with The Miz, it's not...
Well, they're just his lackeys. They're not meant to be his partners.
They're not, they're not meant to be on even footing with them.
Very good. So, we cut backstage. Actually, after this happened, the Miz hit the skull crushing finale on
onto
Seth,
a chair.
Onto a chair, yeah. But then we go backstage, and the Miz Taraj, I guess, what was it, Charlie, right, was trying to get a word with him, and they were just, goodbye.
Yeah, it was weird. They just quickly exited the building. It
Makes
was
sense.
an odd thing. I guess they were running away for their lives, which is kind of funny.
It makes sense.
Well, it's true, because if they, Seth and Dean are a little more intimidating if they're not being ambushed.
Yeah, by 3 guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. So next we had a women's match with Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. And at least it was a better showing for Bayley.
It's true. The match started with Bayley pretty much overpowering Alexa, and then randomly Nia Jax's music plays, and she comes out. And
there was a point where Alexa went out of the ring, and Bayley went to go after her, and then Nia stepped in her way. Did she knock her down? I don't.
No. What happened was she stopped her.
Right. Okay.
And then Alexa came from behind
and
Nia
hit and punched her in the mouth.
Knocked down Bayley.
Right.
And shortly thereafter, that's when Sasha came out, and she attacked Nia Jax.
Yes.
And then she,
I guess she was able to distract Bliss.
Yeah, she took out Jax, and then Bliss was distracted, and that's when Bayley hit the belly to belly and pinned her.
Yes.
So it was like you said, it was a good showing for Bayley. The next week, I guess we'll skip to it.
Yeah.
Next week they announced from a segment later on
the number one contenders match.
That Bayley and Sasha are going to be fighting for a number one contenders match next week, which is good because the two of them had a lot of very good matches back in NXT.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
So, anywho,
yeah. But Graves left the announce desk again after this?
Yeah, though they showed the three of them talking, and then Graves gets up and then leaves, playing on his phone.
Yep.
And then they talk about what had happened at the ESPYs earlier last week, and about how Stephanie won the come on, I know the name.
Not humanitarian.
No, it's why can't I remember his name? He was one of the announced Stuart Scott Award.
There you go.
Yeah, which was for, I guess, I don't know if it's for like charity, or if it's for like just all around humanitarian.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So Stephanie McMahon won that, and they were talking about Connor's cure and everything. So it was a good segment. It kind of helps. Like
show the good things that WWE
does behind the scenes that you don't necessarily know about.
WWE.
Yes, double E.
No, not that Cosmos says that. Angle says it.
Oh yeah, WWE.
WWE. But yeah, backstage we get Angle and Graves again, and
Graves is he's consoling Angle and trying to get him to go through with his announcement.
Yeah, they didn't really need this in there as well.
What? The backstage? No, it kind of makes sense. If A, it fills time.
Right.
B, it continues to put Corey Graves in.
Well, I guess that's kind of I guess you're more casual fans or watching the show, and then it's kind of hyping it more.
Yeah. See, the funny part is, without knowing what the actual twist is, Corey Graves makes no sense to be involved in this at all until you actually find out what happens.
Yeah.
So if this was like a last-minute decision on what it was, and Corey Graves was still involved and ended up not being what it was, like that'd be really dumb because there was no way it made any sense besides that. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right, so up next, we had another backstage segment
with Titus and Tozawa.
Yeah, there was a Titus brand pep talk going on backstage.
Which Daivari interrupted, and they had history. Last week I think on 205 Live they had faced each other.
Yeah. And then
I like that you wrote. He was loud on Raw.
Yeah, well, because Daivari. This was a very different week for a lot of things on Raw, actually, because there was 2 cruiserweight segments. The first one being what comes up next was
which we can get right into it because that was it. It was Brian Kendrick and was it Drew Gulak?
Yes,
against Gallagher and Ali.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
So
Yes, we have some progress here.
yeah, because apparently they decided that it didn't make any sense to, or it could just be that they forgot to tape. They didn't tape up the ropes purple, so that's good. You know, you're starting to make them seem like humans again.
Yeah. Here comes the cruiserweights. Get out the purple tape.
Exactly. It was really dumb that they did that.
I mean, it's fine for the 205 Live show.
But that's different.
Right, because you're different. Yeah, it's like NXT has the yellow ropes.
Yeah,
And SmackDown has what, the black ropes?
I think they're blue.
Are they blue?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. And Raw has the red ropes.
Yeah. So it's good that they're trying to make them feel like they're on the same level. And the fact that these four, minus, I guess, Gallagher, are very rarely on Raw nowadays.
Yeah, no, Mustafa Ali's been on a couple times.
Yeah, but usually...
Definitely not Gulak and Kendrick.
Kendrick, for the most part, hasn't been on since he was in the title picture.
Yeah, because him and Tozawa, their feud was mainly on 205
It was
Live.
almost exclusively on 205 Live.
But yeah, anyway, Kendrick ends up getting hit with a headbutt by Gallagher, and then Mustafa Ali hits the inverted 450 splash for the win, which I can't believe how close to the ropes he gets.
Yeah, it's a little nuts, but obviously he's been doing it for a while. So, and then they were talking about how there was two out of three falls
on 205
between Gulak and Ali. Yes. This is going to be the rubber match.
Yes.
So I guess they're planning on having this be the end of their feud.
So I mean, I was thinking about it, and I realized they're doing a lot of gimmick matches on 205. Not a lot, but it seems like that's how they're ending feuds.
Which is fine. Technically speaking, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, we had, the Falls Count Anywhere, right, with Kendrick and Tozawa?
No, they had a street fight.
Oh, it was a street fight? All right, whatever. Yeah. Was it? Are you sure it was a street fight? Oh, I guess you can get pinned outside the ring. Because I thought he pinned him outside the ring on the table.
I don't think so.
All right, well, regardless. Then the 2 out of 3 falls match. There was, what other match was there? I Quit match between Cedric and Dar, yeah.
There was a submission match at Extreme Rules?
Yeah.
Between Neville and Aries. So, they're trying to make things different.
Right.
Anyway.
Up next, we had a promo from Enzo, which this was decent, but it just dragged on and on.
Well, they're giving him a lot of time to talk.
Yeah. But I guess that's because that's where his talent is. So
it's
it
true.
Makes sense. But
I really want to see where they go from here. Like, I'm not that interested in what they're doing right now.
Between the two of them, or even with Big Show involved?
Well, because this is just the beginning, and I mean what happens after this. Because obviously the Big Show's here to put Cass over. So I want to see where they go.
After that?
Yeah. Because they're going to be involved until whenever this ends.
Right. Well, like I said, not sure if it's true, but if Lesnar does end up leaving, I think Heyman going with Cass would be good.
That'd be good, too.
Because Cass's weakness is his...
He doesn't need it as much as Lesnar does.
No.
But if Cass became a Paul Heyman guy, it would be good.
Yeah.
It would definitely
It would help.
It was just in the same vein as Punk was a Paul Heyman guy.
Right.
He didn't need him.
No.
But
no, not at all.
Anyway, so what happens is Enzo's going on, and how even though...
Cass blames him
for
not winning any tag belts tag titles, sorry.
Yeah.
Belt isn't allowed to be used.
Apparently.
That Cass is as much to blame as Enzo is.
Yes.
And then he kind of says that, Enzo went in there with a guy that was a foot taller than him, and look what happened when Cass went in there with a guy the same size as him. He got his ass beat.
Referring to the week before when Big Show beat up Cass. So he also said that Cass last week wrote a check that his ass couldn't cash. So saying that he's not so different from him like he says he is.
Yeah.
And then
Enzo kind of like baits Cass to come out.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And then,
anytime you drop a promo on someone in the ring, you want them to come out.
Yeah, no, I ain't no.
So.
But Cass came out and basically threatened Enzo as he normally does. Enzo was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it from back here.
Yeah. So he runs into the crowd and takes a seat with a kid wearing one of his Enzo wigs, which was kind of funny.
And then the Big Show comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Then Big Show gets a lot of offense at the beginning, and then Cass ends up getting him on the. I guess they were on the apron, right?
Yeah.
And he was just throwing him into the ring post.
Yeah, because I guess I don't know why the Big Show was just standing on the
apron.
Yeah, but he pushed him into the apron, and that's when he got the upper hand.
Yeah,
and surprisingly, Cass took down the Big Show, and then Enzo came to the ring for some reason.
He was coming into the ring, I guess, because Cass's back was turned, so I figured he'd get a shot in there.
And so, but then he takes out Enzo as well, so Cass ends up standing tall. As we mentioned, this is probably just a tool to get Cass over.
Yep.
So, like I said, I'm interested to see what they do after this. Mm-hmm. But for
get
now,
that diesel gear out.
Yes. For now, this hopefully doesn't last too long.
No.
So up next, there's a backstage segment where Dean and Seth are bickering in the locker room.
Yeah, and then Angle comes in and goes, "All right, how about next week? It's you two versus any two of the Miz Taraj that you choose." And Dean was like, "How about you make it a handicap match?" And she's like, "All right."
Yeah. Well, at first, Angle thought it was a bad idea, and then Seth's like, "You know what? Yeah, that's a good idea." So they agree to take on the three of them,
which is good because
there's
no need for
Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are half a wrestler each.
No, I know that's why you don't need to be 2-on-2.
Yeah, because if it was a 3-on-2 match, or since it's a 3-on-2 match, it feels more even. Because a 2-on-2 would be boring.
Yeah,
or not boring, but it wouldn't be as.
Oh, there's no need for it.
Yeah, there's no.
That's basically
there's no obstacle to be overcome.
Yeah.
So up next was the
rematch from last week, which we kind of thought was the end of it. I didn't think it needed more than one, but it was one. It wasn't one and done.
We're gonna get another one too.
But so this was Finn Balor versus Elias Sampson.
So at the beginning of the match, Cole was saying how Elias Sampson started in NXT by playing outside the NXT arena, and then Dusty Rhodes saw him and gave him a tryout. And then Corey Graves goes, "Michael, that is the biggest lie I've ever heard," or something like that. I know for sure that didn't happen, which is true because that's absolutely not what happened.
But I love how much Booker and Michael try to build up Samson while Corey's just getting so mad.
Because he hates him.
Oh, my God. His commentary work in NXT bashing Samson was the best. Like, my favorite one, I think, was when they went to Australia. And he's like, how the hell did he get here? I thought he drifts. What, did he get on the plane? But yeah.
It's so... I like the fact that they're not pigeonholed to have the heel commentator support the heels.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely a different aspect, which is nice.
It's nice to see that they can have their own opinion, because back like in the 90s with Lawler, it was always no matter what the heel did or
to take his side, defend him.
So it's a lot more natural feeling if someone has an actual opinion of somebody.
Yeah, somebody. I mean, I got no problem with this. I know you're not the biggest fan, but somebody must really like Samson.
Honestly, I don't like his character or anything, but
he's good in the ring.
Yeah, and
he's a big presence.
They're doing something interesting.
Oh, it finally happened. I've been waiting for so long.
What?
For him to use the guitar as a weapon.
Oh, yeah, and he busted open. Yeah, that was bad.
Well, what happened was, I guess they were outside the ring, and Samson had put his guitar, I guess, in the timekeeper's area.
Well, yeah, he always puts it there. And then he grabbed it. He was facing the opposite direction. Finn goes to get him from behind because they're outside the ring. Yeah. And then Samson turns around and nails him in the head.
Yeah, well, no, he hit him in the shoulder. And I guess when it exploded, a piece hit him in the head and put a nasty gash into it.
Yeah, so, and then that's when the ref threw out the match.
Yeah, which...
And
later on in the night, we are getting, what is it, no disqualification match
next week? Yeah, they announced a no disqualification match between the two of them to settle the score or whatever, which basically means, okay, we're getting close to SummerSlam. We got to put them in a real feud.
Right. But this is fine. That's a fine way to do it. You end this chapter and you begin the new one, which happens next.
Yes.
As Balor,
unfortunately, not a better choice.
No.
But.
Well, we'll get to that. Balor's leaving the ring, Blood actually wasn't pouring off of him.
Yeah, it was weird because it looked really bad.
Because he was on the ground after he got hit, and the medical staff came over, and he took like a towel and I guess just cleaned him up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he walked away, and then Bray came on the screen.
Yeah.
I know how they should have gone about this, But I guess it's very early on. You would expect Bray to play into the demon character. Like, this is
Try
the
to
reason
call
he's...
him out. Very
This
much
is the
like,
reason he's taking on Finn's, because he wants, to inherit the demon or something like that, to build himself even more of a powerful god. But they didn't really go with anything.
It's because
there.
they don't know what to do with Bray Wyatt.
I know.
Next thing you know, we're gonna have a segment because after their match at SummerSlam, he's gonna realize that he's got a demon because he doesn't know yet, and then he's gonna be wandering the hallways and looking for the demon like they did with Seth last year.
Demon King.
Yeah. So yeah.
Like I said,
it's weird because they started doing this months ago.
Yeah, during the Superstar Shakeup when we were there.
Then they stopped.
Yeah,
with no explanation.
Well, that was when maybe it was when, because that was when Finn faced Jinder and they had that concussion. Or
yeah,
so they call it,
but then Finn continued to wrestle every week.
Yeah.
So
he really hasn't done anything besides the Fatal 5-Way. That was really it.
The only thing that I could think of that changed their plan was Braun getting hurt.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that might have changed their idea for Extreme Rules, which meant that they needed to put this feud on hold. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever.
But like I said, if it's done right, it'll be good.
We'll see. I don't have faith.
Gotta have faith, man. All right, fair enough. I can't argue with that.
Exactly.
What do we got next? Oh, next we get the backstage segment with Bayley and Sasha.
This one was strange.
Well, they're over. I don't want to say. I don't know. They're making Bayley's character so
immature,
cringeworthy, and
because they come up to Kurt Angle acting like high school girls.
Yeah.
And they want to know who should be the number one contender for the...
Well, I just pinned the champion.
Yeah.
And last week I beat the champion, too.
Yeah, and Sasha's
you
like...
lost to her at the pay-per-view, even though your double knees off the table was cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, guys.
So, I think we said earlier that Kurt, he announced the number one contender match for next week. So...
I don't know.
It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, but...
Or it should be a good match.
Is this a match you want to give away on free TV, or is this going to be Nia interrupting and then making a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam?
The only problem I have with that is that there's going to be a lot of matches like that.
Yeah, I know.
Because as of right now...
It's WrestleMania 2000 all over again.
As of right now, you're pretty much going to get at least the triple threat match for the Universal title.
At least.
Who knows what they're going to do with the tag team titles?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's strange. We haven't seen 2 weeks in a row.
So maybe Sheamus is gone. You know what I mean? Filming whatever, and they're just not going to be gone as long as they thought. So they kept the titles on them and just made the A story the Revival and Hardys, which is fine.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So, and then there's the Cruiserweight title, but that's irrelevant.
Yeah, it'll probably just be a rematch with maybe a stipulation involved or something.
Yeah, they're not going to add anybody.
No, but anyway,
SmackDown has the potential for multi.
Yeah, well, we'll get to SmackDown when SmackDown.
Actually, no. They might be able to get away with just the two.
Well, it depends what they do with the IC title. Is that going to be a triple threat?
No, maybe. So maybe it's the three of them.
Yeah.
But it's not a big deal because I don't think SmackDown's in a position where they can do that.
It doesn't matter anyway. Who really cares?
No, I know, but if you have 3 fatal 4-ways in a row.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the luxury of doing it with multiple people is that you can have an underdog kind of win the title. Like if they wanted to put the title on Joe, and him pinning Roman would be
SummerSlam 1999. I want to say.
Uh-huh.
Stone Cold Steve Austin dropped the WWF title to Mankind because he didn't want to drop it to Triple H. Triple H won it the next night on Raw.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you never would have expected Mankind.
Right.
This makes Austin happy because he didn't want to drop it to Triple H and stuff like that. Yeah. That's not going to happen. No. But the potential's there.
Yes.
Anyway.
Next was a Revival being interviewed backstage.
Yeah. Saying that they don't care about the Hardys, they just want the respect they deserve.
That's it.
Top guys, top guy things.
Top guys out.
They're actually very entertaining.
Of course they are.
No, I just mean
the Revival.
I meant on the microphone.
Oh yeah, they're
like in the
good.
backstage segments. They're pretty good.
Yeah. They there was a WWE.com exclusive. I think it was very short, but well actually they were mimicking the Elite when they do their videos on YouTube with Dash found a passport and he was selling it. It was something I'll have to show you later.
All right.
But there was a backstage segment on, like I said, it was a WWE.com exclusive where some guy, I guess he was holding a piece of paper and Dash and Dawson came by and they scribbled on it and it said "Forever the Revival" and it had the FTR all underlined. I was like, oh, it's so good. This is what social media is doing positively for the wrestling world. There's so much interaction between the characters that even if the show on TV isn't that good, this is at least something to draw you in.
Well, that and the fact that they're taking completely separate entities and
combining them. Yeah,
putting
absolutely.
them together without any
any instruction to do so or something like it's written into them.
I was going to say it's that, and it's not required. Or it's something where you can continue to not acknowledge the other promotion while still subtly acknowledging it. So
it's good.
Anyway,
very good.
So up next was the second, which is a big surprise.
We didn't have two women's segments.
Well, I was talking more of the fact that there was a second cruiserweight.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean, because we didn't have two women. Usually,
but when was the last time we had two women? And it's been a while.
Fair
it's
enough.
pretty much just the one feud.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing. But
nobody does.
It's true. But yeah, we had Tozawa versus Daivari.
I kind of like the outcome of this. This kind of builds. It kind of, I don't know, just gives it more to the feud and more to Titus and Tozawa.
Well, yeah, because
it's not one-dimensional. You know, it's kind of
because now it looks like Titus is actually concerned about the well-being, and he's not trying to.
And you gave Daivari an easy target, so he wasn't. You know, it gave him something to do in the match because I guess what was Tozawa's shoulder he went after?
Yeah.
Right? And he just kept going on it. But it was so early in the match that it was good. It worked.
Yeah. And then after a while, Titus throws in the towel for Tozawa.
Yeah.
So he gives up. So Daivari wins. And then Tozawa gets very angry at Titus because he didn't want to quit.
Right. Yeah. I never quit.
It's true. But all right, so
up next we have the big announcement from Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
I must say though, Kurt did a hell of a job with it.
You mean
just his
pretending like he was
his emotion and he was fully invested
He's
into
always
this.
been a good actor.
No, I know, but I'm just saying for something that
so stupid, trivial, ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna poo-poo on it yet because it's kind of like when they split up the world's greatest tag team and they each had their own singles runs.
You mean when Shelton Benjamin did well and Charlie Haas didn't do anything?
Yeah, but I think it's a little different this time.
This is very different.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I have a prediction. I think that this is gonna go the exact opposite of what they think.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna because they wanna push Jason Jordan. They want to make him because they feel they have.
Oh, but they're planning on pushing Gable as well.
Well, see, but no one's really. There's not been any kind of proof that they want to do that because with what they did last night, they want to make it look like, oh, what's he gonna do without Jason Jordan?
Right, but I mean, you kind of got that 2 weeks ago when he faced AJ. 3 weeks ago.
Well, this is why.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying now.
Yeah, that's the reason why I came up with this.
So they're making such a big deal about this, but
they want to make a big. Yeah, they think that Jason Jordan, they're going to push him because now he's the son of Kurt Angle, so he's going to be the best, and then he's going to be one of the biggest stars on Raw, and he's going to flounder, and he's not going to do a goddamn thing. And then on SmackDown, Chad Gable's going to be wrestling singles, and he's going to be on top.
I believe it.
Guarantee that's what's going to happen.
I believe it.
Because what he's been doing backstage in his like little segments between him and AJ, that thing that he did with Maria Kanellis with the Sami Zayn thing.
I think he's obviously the better of the two on the microphone, and he has that charisma.
Oh, and he's so good in the ring. And
you can't take anything away from Jordan.
I'm not saying that he's not, but visibly he looks like he's a better. Yeah. Like you can get behind his technical wrestling more, because from what I've, I guess established,
we probably should have said that Jason Jordan was
Kurt Angle's son,
illegitimate son.
Yeah, for the most part, anyone who's watching this already knows what happened. But just the fact that. Because, like I said, Chad Gable, out of the two of them, for me, was always the bigger. Yeah. So I think that he's going to do fantastic,
which is funny because didn't they use Jordan as he always got the hot tag and always
yeah. That doesn't mean it's
I know,
true.
but I'm just.
But it's funny because they have all the faith in him. But
this could be Enzo and Cass too.
Well, yeah, you never know.
Right.
Cass could be released in 2 years, and Enzo could end up being like
nothing special, but just being able to hold his own.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, they announced Jason Jordan was Angle's illegitimate son,
and now in college had a relationship, and then just found out that he had a child.
So,
which is funny because I think on Breaking Ground they had Jason Jordan's parents.
Yes.
In the
they
crowd
were hugging when
like
they
that.
won their first title.
Liars. Yeah. Which one is true, WWE?
So, and then they said that he's
my emotions.
He's the new member of Raw, and they're splitting up American Alpha. Or they didn't say they were splitting up American Alpha, but it was heavily implied.
Yes. It's gonna be kind of hard to wrestle as a tag team on two different shows.
It's true. So, but yeah, that was about it.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
There can be upside. We still don't know who was texting Corey to let him know this.
No, it was they said it was he was talking to Jordan.
Oh,
so
I tuned out.
Well, the commentary was going on about it's like it must be a relief, like now that the truth is out, and Graves was going on about how he's known Jordan for such a long time.
Right?
And he feels better
that.
now that he was able to tell the truth and all that stuff. So. They made a huge deal out of something that's honestly very trivial. Obviously, they want to push Jordan. That's what they're doing here. And
we'll have to see.
I want to see why Corey Graves is such a big part of this, because there has to be a reason.
It's true.
Because he's not coming back to wrestle. So
unless like Stephanie is behind it or something like that and trying to get Angle, getting dirt on him. Because, Corey's technically a heel.
It's true, but I think this is more of the NXT thing than a heel thing.
H, then.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, there's still parts of this that can be interesting, and it's fine because, Jason Jordan they weren't doing anything with American Alpha, so a lot of the lower teams have been given roles, which is good.
Yeah. So
except the fact that everyone's being split up, and it's very odd.
Yeah, well, especially considering there's unless they're gonna bring up like the Authors of Pain soon.
God, it's so bad.
Or Heavy Machinery.
They're fantastic.
They're funny. Yeah. They're entertaining.
I really don't have a gripe with the Authors of Pain. It's just
they're
just very one-dimensional characters.
They're very green.
Yeah.
Still, so that doesn't help.
No.
So.
But, speaking of tag teams, up next we had the Hardys versus the Revival.
Yes.
Obviously, this is going to be the feud going into SummerSlam, I would assume, because, like you said, the Cesaro and Sheamus don't seem to be doing anything.
Well, there's still a month to go. There's a very good chance that
Cesaro and Sheamus could drop the belts to the Hardys on a Raw or something.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah. There's anything could happen between.
Or they have to give up the belts, something like that, and then they make it a match between these two.
Yeah, but either way, like these two teams are next. Yeah. It's just a matter of, is this going to be the splitting up of the Hardys because of the Revival?
Another team split up.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
Or if it's the breaking of the Hardys, because they did that promo last
Yeah,
week.
I mean, 2 losses in a row. That's
so
it's big. Yeah, so the Revival ended up getting the win here.
Yeah.
I guess Jeff was going up for a Swanton Bomb, and Dawson... No, I guess Dash knocked him off the top rope.
yeah, no.
You get him confused, I know that.
I know, no, but Wilder was on the
legal
outside.
Oh.
He jumps onto the not onto the turnbuckle,
apron.
but onto the apron, knocks Jeff down, and then Dawson pinned him.
I don't know if it's recent or it's just happens more often, is whenever somebody gets pushed off of the turnbuckle onto the mat, it seems like it's always a 3 count.
Well, they're going for... Oh, I got the logic. Okay. So, in the WWE 2K series, when you reverse a finisher, you get all the momentum.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah. Oh, he did roll. He did pull his tights.
Yeah, but that obviously was 100% not even true.
I know, but they
I know they
to
said
give
that he
it
did.
Yeah.
So you get all the momentum when you reverse the finisher. So that's what that is.
All right.
They have momentum, so obviously they're able to hold them down for the 3 count.
You know what? That was good enough logic for me.
I know. It's great.
It's perfect.
Nice.
I
like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny because he goes to pin him, and then he just keeps on pulling Jeff back. So he almost ends up flipping him over, and that's why they said he was pulling the tights, I guess, even though he was just bending them backwards. Yeah. He almost ended up on his head.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
But it was a good match overall.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's not a surprise with these 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still not the Hardys of their prime.
No, but they're still super over because everyone loves the delete stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but it's a different, yeah, they can get themselves over anyway.
Sure. There's no writing that can do anything or hurt them. So, all right. So up next, we had a Samoa Joe interview.
Yes.
He's asked if he's concerned about entering Roman Reigns' yard later on.
Yeah.
He was not apparently concerned.
No.
He says that
he'll beat him twice.
Yeah. He says he'll beat him no problem.
Yeah. So, like I've said recently, that I am perfectly fine with Roman Reigns and Joe in the ring. They both complement each other very well.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know if it has to do with Joe's veteran presence or that they're just a good match in style.
Well, they're very similar in terms of like their physicality.
Right. It's not one of those things where he's going to beat him easily. They're evenly matched. So.
Yeah. Well, because they both have dominant presences.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, this was a decent match, which was next, Roman versus Joe, and
they're beating the crap out of each other, trying to show who is stronger.
Mm-hmm. Like we said last week, that we kind of expected Braun to come in and interrupt because it made sense.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. So they were both down at one point. It was, I think, after a Superman punch. And Reigns did his, okay, I'm going to get a move in and then fall over thing. And then Braun's music hits. He comes down. He goes after Reigns, if I'm not mistaken. And then
they started to team up. Not really team up, but Joe had the Coquina clutch locked in. And Reigns hit him with a spear, hit Braun with a spear, and then Braun fell into the turnbuckle, and Joe hit, and
and that was the end of that. And then at that point, Braun kind of just overpowered both of them.
Mm-hmm.
He hit Reigns with multiple running power slams.
Yeah, he hit Joe with 1, and then hit Reigns, I think, with 2.
Yeah,
I believe that's how the show ended.
Yeah, so
Strowman
ended up on top in a match that he wasn't even supposed to be in.
I don't know if you ever feel this way, but I get a different feeling after the show and then after the review. Like, you're able to look at the positives more in depth when we're doing a review rather than when you're fresh off watching the show and you're like, it was all right. And then you actually get into it and you're like, all right, that wasn't that bad.
So when we started and you went another raw or whatever, you feel a little differently now?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said.
Well, a lot of the times when I'm watching, I'm trying to think of what they're doing next.
Yeah. Well,
not so much what they're doing now.
Watching, and then when we do this, then I think more about
it. I guess I think about it more than you do.
Fair enough.
Because I'm like, okay, where are they?
But you're also taking notes for Raw, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
Too.
So because I'm thinking, okay, where are they going to go with this?
Mm-hmm.
Like Finn Balor and Bray
Sams.
Wyatt.
Oh,
Like
okay.
how are they gonna do this?
Right. Oh, all that. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
So, but it's just like little things like that.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah. So that was our Raw review.
yes. If you liked what you see here, please like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.